Hi all you beautiful people. This video is in the very hot, we're having some very hot days in this hot morning sun, and I wanted to share these beauties. And I'm talking about, I want to just shine some light on the whole thing of soil and productivity, because I was just asked this morning by one of you about how we manage with the feed and our animals. And I was answering her that we don't do very well. We have about, I think we have 5 hectares. Oh, wait a sec. Oh no, 4 hectares of grassland. But this is actually it's the bottom of an old river. There used to be water here always. And in one of my very early videos on the other channel, I go to the neighbour's place where they have these old Stone Age axes that they have found, very beautiful. You can go and see if you like. And they were all found up on his land, and we are lower. We are 5, 6, 7 meters. It's not very much, but it's enough. So this was since the Ice Age, I think the water has been flowing here, and so the Stone Age people were up higher. So all the goodness of the land, of the soil, is more or less washed away here. So up there where he lives, there's beautiful clay soil. And here it's all really powdery sand. Very, very fine. Just get some. I can find some. Usually where there's been a mold. This is what it looks like when it's dry. There is some organic matter in there. And we did grow vegetables here for 25 years. And what you have to do with very light soil like this is you have to put huge amounts of compost, cow manure. And we did that, so big layers in the wintertime. We put big layers on there. And maybe dig it in, but I had a rotational system, so that the first year we had potatoes and sort of big things, usually mainly potatoes, a big patch of potatoes, and they can tolerate a lot of manure. And then the next year you could have cabbage, and the next year you could have something else, because they can't tolerate so much. But every 4 years you put this huge layer of manure on, and that way we could grow really good vegetables actually. But you have to do that, because otherwise the land itself won't, you can't get it from this land because it's so dry. And when it's very light, it can't hold the nutrients very well, and it can't hold moisture very well. So, and the whole thing of holistic management, of having the cows on, or the animals on tall grass, let them squash a third of it down, eat a third of it, and let a third of it stand, is a good idea. But they say, these people like Greg Judy says, on sandy soil it's very hard to make it work. So it just is not good farmland. And it was one of the latest farms that were made here in the 1860s. It was one of the last farms that was built here, because people didn't want this land really. And often in the wintertime it's all water. It's just a big pond. So some places we have a type of grass that only is that tall. And I let it grow taller. It went into seed, and then it was that tall. And the cows don't want it, they just tread on it. They don't touch it. So I just wanted to, before I squash these plants, just describe to you what we've done here. Because since we don't have vegetables anymore, the moles are desperate for whenever you put something, you want to plant something, you put some cow manure on, the moles, they're all around it. They just dig up more or less, because they want these earthworms. So yeah, it's a bit funny. We've tried something we've never done before, but this is actually a bed. We thought we're getting older, and one day we're really old, and maybe it's smart to have them a little bit high. So we had these. That was also from that neighbour. We bought these, and they're actually put onto a tarpaulin. This is a tarpaulin down here. It's just a big black, disgusting tarpaulin.
It's not very nice at all.
You can see it over there. Tarpaulin. And that's because the moles can't get up through that. So they can't go up and disturb the soil. So what we did was, that was my idea, it's fun to try these things, just see what happens. So we stuck these holes into it, just little holes, and put these on, and made sure there's there's no crease underneath, so they can't get in that way. And all this is lined with just some thin plastic. We just put around the sides, so that it's like a big tub. And then we put in our own soil, but also bought some peat moss, which is not very natural, but it's an amazing way to hold. It's a really good way to hold the moisture. And then we put a lot of cow manure, so soil, peat moss, and lots of our old cow manure. And you don't have to water this very often, and it's amazing how this is doing really, really well. Whereas if I'd had that in the ground, and all this sandy soil sucking away the moisture, and the moles coming in, we would have had to water this very often. So it's sort of cheating, but it's just to describe to you how the soil does really affect a lot. And so that's just the soil we have here. So yeah, the whole thing of having the cows. I have too many cows, too many animals for this land, because I can't feed them. Also because these last years have been very dry, and maybe it's going to become like that. So you could, if you really wanted to get into this, you would probably make an area with willow, and where you could just have these stumps of willow, put the animals in, and they could get a lot of feed from that, really. So, but I've made a video about my thoughts on the grazing, and how when you have to feed in the middle of summer, how you feel it's so stupid. You feel you're stupid. And yeah, just the best thing, I believe, is to be completely self-sufficient. And that's what we were the first 30 years, or 25 years here. We had one cow, one calf, and some sheep. And we made our hay on the meadow. We didn't have the animals down there. We made our hay there, brought it home, and had the animals here. And it worked really well for a long time. So, yeah, there's a lot to learn. So I won't talk anymore. Just let nature speak. So wonderful. See you, my friends. I can just show you also these. The first time ever, I'm trying to make gherkins. I want to make little black pepper fermented gherkins. I love gherkins. So delicious with some pate. And I just harvested some the other day. So look at how they're coming there. They're coming there. So they need nutrients, and nutrients and water. So just keep an eye on them. It's really just for fun, but